Welcome back, guys. There are 7 things that we need to set up before we start drawing in AutoCAD. It's very important. The first thing to set up is choose a drawing template. And for drawing template, we should choose AutoCAD ISO. How do we choose a drawing template? It is 4 steps. The first step is to click on the big A. Click on the big A. Second step is to click New. Then from New, we go down to AutoCAD ISO. Click on AutoCAD ISO, then Open. That is done. Once you have done that, the next thing you want to do is to turn off your grid. The second main thing to set up is your unit. To set up unit, type UN, enter, and ensure that your unit is in millimeters. The third thing to set up is your limit. To set up your limit, type LIM, enter key. Now, for engineering drawing or plain and solid geometry, your limit, the lower limit is always 0, 0. Your upper limit in this case should be 300, 300. It is important to note that once you have set this up, you must type Z, enter key, followed by A, enter key. What that does, that brings the limit onto the screen. The next thing to set up is our dimension. Set up dimension style, type D. From D, on the line, you will see a number of headings. You will see line, symbols and arrows, text, and primary units. Under line, the very first one, only 2 things you will change. Under line, you will change the offset from origin and also extend beyond dimension line. Only those 2 things. You will then go across the symbols and arrows, click on the symbols and arrows. Here, only one thing you change here is the arrow size. In this case, use an arrow size of 4. You then go across to text. For text, let your text be either 4 or 5. Once that is done, you will then go across to primary unit and change your precision from 0.000 to 0. That is done. For layers, we need, for plain and solid geometry, you'd need pretty much 5 or 6 basic layers. To activate layers, type LA, enter. Once you have done that, you will then need to click on the new layer icon, which is located above. Right? Once you have done that, you will need to name the layer. You need to change the color of the layer. You'd also need to change from default to whatever line weight thickness you want. In this case, you're going to use 0.25 for most lines. For outline, you need to choose between 0.3 to 0.7. Under drawing setting, the next thing to set up is our drawing setting. Under drawing setting, you want to ensure that your object snaps are set. You must ensure that midpoint must be active. Quadrant must be active. Node must be active. These are three very useful object snap settings that you want to ensure that are active. You might also want to ensure that polar tracking or object snap tracking is also active. The last one is our text. You want to set your text height at the same height that you set your dimension text height at. To set up your text, go up, look at the top of the screen, click on annotate. From there you see a little drop down box, click that, then choose your text height. And that's basically how you set up your drawing space. Again, these are the seven things that you must set up for you to effectively draw. Once these are done, you are set, you are good to go. Again, drawing template, AutoCAD ISO, unit, millimeters, limit, 300 by 300 for plain and solid, 10,000 by 10,000 for building drawing. Dimension, layers, you need 5 or 6 basic layers. For building drawing, you will need a lot more. For drawing setting, ensure that the object snap midpoint is on, quadrant, and node. For text, you want to ensure that you use the text height similar to what you use for your dimension text height. And that's all there is for getting started. Once you have done this, you are ready to go.